All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Tweeted out so everybody can join. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Happy Monday. Quite a day today. Good. So we got that tweeted out for everybody. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good. All right. So today we're going to be continuing our discussion on timing entries. Right. So we're day trading timing entries. Mostly about timing entries this week. And yesterday we talked about lower time frames. Very important stuff. Today we're going to talk about breakouts. Okay. We've talked about breakouts before, but this is a good reminder of timing these breakout entries because they can be pretty complicated sometimes. So before we do that, though, let's take a look at this disclaimer here. Everything we're going to talk about tonight is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market today. And then we'll take a look at futures, see where we're at. Then we'll go over the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So good stuff. Appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. Here we go. Let's take a look at the SPX. So SPX, 1 day left in the month so far. We are up 44 points today. So a big day there. Let me make sure this is coming through. Okay. Yep. Good. So green's back to green on the month after a 44-point move back up. We had a couple nasty days last week. But let's see how they finish up this 1 day and the end of the month. It might be some window dressing type stuff. End of the month, end of the quarter, right? So let's see if we can push it, get and stay above this monthly level right here and finish the month green. On the weekly chart, okay, so we're back above the 30 weekly moving average. Still room to go on the RSI either way, which you see I was kind of chopping around in the middle here. That means we're kind of chopping around in here too. We had an inside week last week. Kind of an ominous, double upper shadows. This candle here is kind of still in control of this price action right now, so we need to really push, get above these levels, so we can try to take out this level right here and then ultimately fill this weekly gap. So, but right now we're hanging on to the 30 weekly moving average, so it's better than being down here, right? So that's a good thing. Daily chart, here we go. Let's get in the sloppy mess right here, right? Our V reversal. And recently we've pushed down below after the Fed, right? After the Fed did their Fed day, right? Kind of gave us some downward direction and got some big follow through the downside on that one. Basically saying, hey, the economy is, worse than we thought it was, and not giving the market a lot of confidence, right? And so, but technically we held the 200-day moving average, bounced back up, test the upper trend line, and now we're back below the upper trend line after this, couple, three tops right here, and then back down, and also the island top reversal. And don't forget, right, the Corona crash started with an island top as well. So pretty interesting stuff right there. So let's see if it can continue to work its way up, get over the 8-day moving average, get over the upper trend line, fill this gap, and then keep working its way up. So we'll see what they have in store for this week. Now remember, it's a short week this week. We're closed on Friday in honor of the Independence Day weekend, and so Independence Day holiday. So short week this week. So keep an eye on Theta. Right, today's an expiration day. Tomorrow is the only non-expiration day this week on the SPY SPX. It is. Wednesday would be an expiration, and Thursday would be an expiration day. So it's pretty fun with some momentum moves today, and we caught some good moves today in the group. So all good stuff right there. So let's see what it does. By the way, tomorrow Powell, I believe, is talking on Capitol Hill again. So look for some potential chop tomorrow as he continues to as he does his little talk thing. He's basically talking pre-Fed minutes is the idea with that one. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Pretty interesting stuff. All right, let's take a look at the price action today, see how everything went here today. So it was generally a pretty bullish day, nice recovery day. It wasn't super duper easy, right? It wasn't just a straight trend day like this down day here is pullbacks to the 8 EMA, right? It got a little bit tricky here because the open, right, was looking pretty bearish. We actually shorted the open, took profit before the bounce, and then we're like, okay, they'll probably buy the dip, and we wrote about that in the newsletter this weekend too. And wow, did they buy the dip? And they bought it pretty reasonably, but they didn't do it with a lot of volume. And there was some good volume that came in. Don't get me wrong, but the lower term time frames made it a little bit difficult here to kind of gauge this the dip buy to see how far they'd push it. But they got all the way up to the 15 orb high, continued to work its way up. Again, they pulled back to the 80 EMA twice, but these are two pretty fast candles with each other, right? You have a nice, push candle right here, and then a pullback halfway through the range. Makes it tough, right? It's kind of a grindy move up right here. And then they didn't make it easy here at the end of the day, right? It pushed back below the 80 MA, and then they launched it at the end of the day. So it was tough. So, but pretty good stuff there. Some members did really well at this at the end of the day too, for a nice push EOD. There was a couple other good ones that were going on, like Tesla and some Apple. I mean, there's some other good strong names at the end of the day as well. So we'll see if they get any follow through on this one going into tomorrow. Let's take a look at the levels here. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market opens, so you can see how valuable these are. The down move right here, push down, held a volume level right here for us. Nice candle right here. Again, it was kind of low volume, but did work its way back up here on the SPY, by the way. And they had three white soldiers right here, a little bit of pause, pulled back in that range, and they gave you one more push to the upside. We found a little resistance off some key levels that we use off the S&P futures, right? Came back up to the test the prior day's open, came down off of that, and then pushed its way all the way up to our R1 level right there. So, so pretty interesting day today. So, but again, not surprised to see low volume today, again, on a holiday week. So, and let's see what they have in store tomorrow. Again, Powell's talking, so we might get some choppy action going into that too. So let's take a look at the futures and see how they're looking here this evening. So we're up 8 points here. So they're trying to rally it up a little bit here. So so we had a nice, again, this is right at the close, right? So this nice push at the close right here, drifted it up, found a little resistance, kind of like double tops right here off of a signal zone that we use, and pushed back down to another signal zone. So it's trying to work its way out of here. So we got some work to do to get through some levels here today. So we're going to keep an eye on a couple things here tonight. We're going to look at this geometric line right here. It's a weak trend line. These are the ones that break down. When they do, they can break down pretty heavy. So you got to watch out for that one. And of course, you've got trend line already pushed here. And we'll see how this intermediate trend line works, or geometric line works going into the rest of the evening. So we'll see how these levels hold and what they have in store for us tomorrow. Now, if they launch it tonight, hopefully it'll take all the meat off the bone for us to trade tomorrow. So it was nice that we actually did get some faster moves today, and it was kind of reasonable from the overnight session. So we'll see where that takes us tonight. Again, we got some levels to get above. I'd like to see us get over 3060, and if we can get over that, maybe we'll test this 3067 level, and if we could really get above that, 3070 is in the cards. So we'll see how that goes going into the rest of the night. So good stuff. All right, well let's talk about our topic today. So this week we're talking about timing entries, and the big concept of this is getting it right, getting in at the right time, and trying to find the right area. So yesterday we talked about getting in on the lower time frames. Today we're going to talk about breakouts. This is kind of a general area, right? We can look at this on the daily time frames and on the intraday time frames. So really, these key breakout levels are all about the geometric lines, your chart pattern setups, where we're looking for entries on those. And today was pretty interesting, right? So one of the things that we noticed today was Boeing, right? So Boeing is it gave a professional gap, right? We talked about gaps before. So what do I mean by a professional gap? So a professional gap is when you're moving down, right? You have a red day, and then you gap above the red day. So what that does is it traps anybody who's short right here, right? And then it squeezes them out. Now a lot of those, anybody who trades pre-market saw that we were really strong pre-market, so that brought the gap up. And then of course, try to move down with the market here, try to fade a little bit, and they couldn't do it. And then they eventually, anybody who's short right here, for the most part, probably gave up, right? And so that helped get that squeeze a little bit higher on Boeing. So that's what was going on in the context of Boeing on the daily chart. And it's always important to look at that when you're day trading and see what's really going on with the bigger picture, right? So I mean, even just real quick, like Roku today, it gave the bulk of its down move today. It was a huge down move today. We were over an 11-point range on Roku. But one of the things is that the majority of it happened at the open, right? So they took a lot of meat off the bone at the open. So unless you were there for it right here, and there was a lot of things that made sense short. We were short SPY this morning, and I think we pointed out a couple other things. But once it made that move down, right, there was a rally back up to the ADMA, two rallies, and then it ended up following it to the downside today. But in terms of the amount of range that was available after this big move, makes it a little bit tough. But one of the things we did have, right, is a breakdown here. We'll go back to Boeing in a second, but Roku's a good example. One of the key levels that we use is the 15 orb level, right? So if we can break down below this, what do we want? That's the key with breakouts, right, and breakdowns. We want it to confirm, right, especially with a horizontal breakout. Horizontal breakouts are the hardest, right? Usually I prefer a breakout over a geometric line, trend line, whatever the case is. We always want to wait for confirmation, and again, we like to go to those lower time frames to get those. And so here we had a double bottom right here on Roku, tweezers bottoms. We got a nice bounce off of that, and then we came back down to the lows right here. So you can see this here. We started to push below the 15 orb low on this candle on the 15-minute chart, but this candle was just not enough. Lower shadow off of this one. Then we finally got this one right here, right? So this gave you a nice upper shadow here, right off the ADMA and down below the 15 orb, and that gave you a nice move down. Now, in terms of target and how far it was going to go, tough risk reward rise, right? But you can always just put your stop right here above the breakdown candle, and then then you can lower your stops as necessary, here, right here, and then you can still get a pretty decent move off of it, and then look to take profit as we work our way down there. So so that's what we like, right? So that's one of the key things, especially on horizontal lows, but really on any geometric level. I like the geometric ones, the sideways ones, the slanting ones, because they're a little bit not as obvious. I think a lot of the horizontal breakdowns sometimes are really obvious, and you get a lot of pullbacks on them, and they make it really challenging. So that's the key area with those. But you can see here between 1330 and 1345, 130, 145, that we had a good opportunity here to kind of get short. And you can see what we talked about yesterday. This pullback right here between 1330, 1345 is you could have got in a little bit early here once you saw this thing setting up. Is that we had a nice breakdown candle right here with some big volume, right? So this is definitely your push right here through the 15 orb low, and these ones, so you got a nice volume confirmation on that and could ride that down pretty decently right here, right? So again, this pullback right here never exceeded these levels, right? The double inside fives, right? And then just continue to work its way down from there. So once you start to see it, give you a reversal hammer with some good volume, right? Then you can look to get out down there on these ones. So that's the breakdown on Roku. But let's take a look at Boeing. That's a breakout. And this one actually used the geometric levels today. So pretty cool stuff on Boeing. So one of the things we like to look for is relative strength at the open, or at least relative interest at the open. So when we go to that daily chart, like we just looked at, right? So we had we know what's going on in the daily right here. We were working our way down. A lot of people short, right? Kind of sliding its way down. Now we knew that it hadn't quite broke down out of the trend box yet, right? That sneaky little lower shadow right there kept us, not short on this one and just waiting. And but a lot of folks get short on it, right? Weak market on Friday, and then get stuck in it here today. So they got to cover, and that just helps push things up. Now, a lot of that happened pre-market, right? So a lot of this short covering happened pre-market, and then they tried to push it back down again, but it held a lot of key pre-market levels right here. You can see this cluster zone right here got held, and then you had an inside 15 for a nice breakout right here. So this candle is great, right? So we get out of the 15 orb pretty nicely right here. Again, to trade this one, it's kind of a momentum level. You don't get any confirmation on the next candle, right? So you can see here early, we did some good volume right here, but just didn't get any movement off it. These are often tough too. But one of the things that we look at, right, is a setup to see if this thing will set up later. So we look for pullbacks on these and then look for a breakout later. And so we have a move up right here, right? We pull back to the 15 orb high, and then we get another geometric level right here, very, very similar to the first one. But this time, we're getting some action intraday, and we're starting to see some more volume come in, right? So you can see this right here, inside 15, works its way up, more volume off of this one at the 15 orb low, and then finally you get the breakout candle like here. So one of the things I like to look at confirmation, especially looking to ride one throughout the day, is some sort of confirmation intraday, right? And so you can see here what we got, right? We got this nice spinning top right here, nice pause candle. These are great on daily charts. These are great on intraday charts, right? This gives you a measured move to the upside, right? And so here you can see your first target is breaking out of your pre-market levels in the high of the day, and so that's actually a reasonable first target. Once you could blast through that, right, then you can look to be like, okay, where's this thing going? What's my resistance levels, and how much space do I have to get to my next target, right? So we provide key levels to our members. So our next key level was basically up in this area right here, and then once we got above that, it continued to work its way up. So good stuff on this one, and you can also see on the lower time frames here, anywhere after 12:30, you could look for more confirmation on the lower time frame, right? And you can see here we got out of this, already gave a nice candle on this one to break out, even an inside 5 here to get out of the 15 orb, and really gave a nice push up here, a little bit of a sideways action, kind of held these levels nicely, and then boom, get a huge candle right here with volume, and you continue to ride this one up, get a nice move right here, you're safe in your stops, right, you're profitable, right, and then just try to let this thing ride as it follows its ADMA here on the 15-minute chart. So good stuff. So that's breakouts, right? That's what we look for, mostly volume confirmation, and also look into the lower time frames. But volume is so key on this one, and also just making sure that that there is some strength in the market behind it, unless the news is just incredible. The news today was a little bit sketchy on Boeing, right? We knew they were going to be testing their flights, and it just it was all about this right here, just kind of squeezing itself out. And if you look at the we saw the futures today, we saw the SPX today, we saw that there was some strength behind the market as they tried to buy the dip into the day. So there's a little bit of momentum behind it, so which makes it nice. So good. So that's today's timing entries here on Breakouts. So I hope you guys find that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so everybody can get a good night's sleep. We're gonna have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. All right. So Richard sent a few in via Twitter, so let's take a look at those. So MU earnings tonight. Actually, pretty stellar earnings, right? So it's kind of stuck in this triangle right here. Now we just kind of have to see what it's up to, right? So it's it's up significantly here after hours, right after earnings. So nice move up here. It's holding pretty well. They had good earnings, good revenue, and good guidance, right? So it's pretty much the best of all worlds on this one. So we'll see if this thing can continue to go. Pretty amazing stuff that even amid the Corona crash and the Corona issues and all that stuff, they've had good earnings, right? So there's some good stuff there. I like how it bounced off 50. I like how we had a hammer day. I like how we got over the 200 day. I like how we retested and held a couple key levels right here too, in the bottom of the triangle. So that was a good thing. So really just want to see where we're at. So tomorrow, right now we're about 51, 52. So it looks like we're going to be gapping at about this level right here. Kind of a sketchy level. I like how we're at the top of the triangle. Now this is a tight triangle. So honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it did pull back and test the midpoints of those levels. But if it gets above this pivot level right here, we might see another move up. Really the key level for if it really wanted to be super strong was to get above this pivot level to see if we can get a gap and go on it, right? So this is a really complex stock, but we'll just keep an eye on it, see what it gives us in store for tomorrow. It's it can be tricky to trade, but sometimes it can give us some nice moves, and we'll see what it has in store for tomorrow. Let's take a look at PCG. Another one. Okay, so PCG, right? I think this thing has been through a lot. This is a huge drama stock, right? Ever since the fires and more fires, and then criminal indictments on fires and all that stuff. And I mean, this company is really amazing that they're even in business, right? But they're propped up a lot by municipal support, things like that. So, had a rough day on Friday. Huge volume on this one. Again, still working its way down. Kind of a pause day here today, actually. So this is actually looking really weak right here. One of the questions that we had was, what do we look at? Put activity on it. So, I think it's tough to read into activity on options. A lot of stuff could be going on there. You don't know exactly what the position is. They might be hedging a position. They could be writing covered calls or puts or whatever the case is on it. So it's it's always tough to read into that type of option activity. But the reality is this thing is breaking down. It broke down some major geo levels right here. You had huge volume on Friday and you got a nice pause today. So I wouldn't be surprised if it tries to continue to work its way down. In fact, this is bearish enough looking that we can look at adding this to the bearish radar for tomorrow. So we'll see if that gets any more follow through going into Tuesday. So let's take a look at that here. So we got PCG. But yeah, long term, it's always hard to say, what they're going to do. But a lot of times these utilities can get bailed out unless they, declare bankruptcy or whatever the case is on that. So we'll see how it goes. But got to keep making the power, right? So that's one of the big deals with that. So we'll see if they decide to, government takes them over, whatever the case is. So very, very interesting stuff. Good. So Shirley sent in a few via email. So let's take a look at a couple of those. So we've got Match.com or Match Group. Big breakout candle here today. So this is the one that's been on a few folks' radar. We've been looking at it before. Bullish till proven otherwise on this one. Let's see if we can get some confirmation on it. I do like the breakout candle on Match.com. Let's keep it on the radar going into tomorrow too on the long side. I like it. Okay, so let's see if we get a pause day tomorrow or just some nice momentum follow through today's highs. Good find on that one. What else? We got Light. This is a tough one to trade, guys. Lumentum. This is kind of a tricky name, but it gets a lot of movement off of Apple, right? They're a big supplier to Apple. We're kind of in a triangle zone right here. It's got a big candle, big volume on Friday, but we're just kind of in the chop zone. I wouldn't even mess this one. It's really, really tough to trade. Beyond Meat had a rough day today, gap down, but it did hold the 50-day moving average, right? So let's see if they try to hold this one, try to buy the dip on it. If they do, we may see a little bit of a rally on it, but it's a rough one here today. So it got a downgrade this morning. Double downgrade at Barclays, so just a little bit rough on that one. So let's see if they did that for an opportunity to get back in. Maybe they missed this big candle and they're just looking for a re-entry on it. So let's see how that goes on Beyond. Could be a possibility. A big lower shadow off the 50-day on that one. Take two. So interesting one here today. This is, these gaming stocks are really challenging. They're about as hard to trade as Light. Occasionally you get a couple of days up on it, but a lot of times you get these kind of nasty upper shadows on it. So bit of a bearish engulfing candle here, but not really uptrending. It's just kind of in the chop zone. So it's even here. You can just see in Bermuda Triangle. So just be careful with that one on take two. And then PD. Okay, so PagerDuty, again, breaking down a little bit. Upper shadow here on Friday, so a little bit of follow through the downside today. It's got some levels here that it might want to hold. I'd rather track this thing. It's been in a good uptrend, just to see if this thing can see if it holds right. It could bounce down here, and that would be a good area for a potential bounce. But let's see if it gets over that downward trend line or this geometric line and maybe gives you a breakout on that one. So good stuff on that. Appreciate it, Shirley. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at Etsy. Let's see how that's looking here this evening. So Etsy hanging in there, held the 80 MA, gave you a hammer day today. So, just getting really tight in here, kind of a small little, flag, horizontal flag type pattern. So let's see if we can break out of there and give you some volume on that. Facebook. Huge by the dip on this one. Look at that. Came right down to the cloud and bounced off it today. You got to love that. And then started to reclaim some of the range, reclaim the 50-day moving average, and all on a bunch of negative news. So that's just pretty impressive right there, really. So let's see how well this holds. It's a pretty strong reversal candle, and see if we get any follow through tomorrow if the market is strong. NVIDIA. A bit of a breakdown today, but up after hours. It's up about 4 points after hours on the in sympathy with the MU. So it's got some work to do to get back above the upper trend line right here. But certainly gapping up 4 points could be a start to it. And then Tesla. So Tesla, nice candle today. It's kind of breaking out of this geometric level here today. Good volume. Looks like it could want the next level up right here. Let's see if we can get some follow through to the upside tomorrow after Musk's tweet today saying that it looks like that even despite the corona, they're still going to at least reach break even on the company. So it got a little bit of a boost on that, and that's what it needed because that's what Tesla lives on. It lives on the shenanigans. So good stuff on that. Good stuff. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Kim, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you had a great trading day today, too. Hope for a doji sandwich, you're getting started with Piton. So let's see what Piton gives us here today. So Piton, more of like a doji reversal here today, but you did get a couple lower shadows in this one. This thing is just getting so complex to trade on the daily chart. And intraday just really, really choppy there between the 15 orb ranges. So I don't know, a little bit out of play right here. It's it's just kind of just been this crazy choppy move. But interesting here. I think it was down a little bit after hours too on the Lulu news. Lulu acquired a competitor. So pretty interesting on that one. See if that if that gets affected tomorrow too. Yeah, definitely needed to bounce off the ADMA, and it's got to get over 60. And hopefully, maybe one of these days, it can actually close strong off of it. Workhorse, there's another one. So WKHS. So Workhorse, huge move today. Great find on this one, guys. I really appreciate you guys mentioning these in the live streams. Crazy movement right here intraday. Nasty pullbacks, but it is still working its way up. So let's see if that can continue. Going into tomorrow again. Watch today's highs as a key level to take out if it unless it gaps above it, and just look at it as potential support. FSLY, a pullback on it. I can't believe it. Also a bearish engulfing candle on it. So pretty interesting stuff there. Let's see how that holds if it can test the ADMA and then maybe bounce off of it. So pretty interesting stuff. Actually, some pretty big volume on that one too. But what an epic run on this thing. Let's see if a dip is buyable on it. Good stuff. Appreciate it. ZEK plug. Let's take a look. Yeah, wow. Plug's been great. It's been getting a lot of bullish option activity on it. Got a nice move to the upside here, hitting 826. So see if we break above those levels. RAD retail was really strong today, and RAD is actually one of the highest weighted on some, like I believe the XRT, at least it used to be. So that helped a lot. And this is one that's definitely been on our radar since earnings. This is such a key momentum level here, this 1670-ish area, to retry push above Friday's highs. But just an incredible move on RAD and a bunch of other names today too in retail, which is crazy. Like Kroger with a big breakout candle here today too. Finally getting over the triangle. Surprisingly, not a large amount of volume on it, but we finally got out of these triangle ranges right here. Let's see if we can get a some continuation on this one going into tomorrow. Good stuff. The Nest, what's happening? Pins. So this one, they bought the dip on this one. A lot of names were getting beat up because of Facebook's moves. But they bought the dip on this one today too, so it's looking pretty good there. ON. This had some action on it today too. I think it had some news, but good volume came in, but it really didn't end up really doing anything. So it's basically below these levels right here. See if we can get above that geometric line with a breakout of some sort. BJ's. Back in it. What did we say a couple last week, right? So let's see if it pulls back and bounces. It did. Pulled back to the ADMA and bounced off of it today. So really nice move on that one. And didn't quite close above this level right here, but let's see if we can push above the prior highs to get to all-time highs. So good find on that one. Etsy, again, nice stuff right here. Good hammer off the ADMA. Let's see if we can break out of that horizontal flag. VVNT, is this thing finally just still chopping around on there inside day? Let's see if we can break out above those. Sage. So Sage, another inside in this one, but holding the ADMA on it. Dubadai, what's going on? Own, yeah. So again, it's up a little bit after hours here. Probably on the. Let's see if we can get above. So it's not quite above 20 yet. So let's see if we can get above the geometric level. It's got a couple little gaps up here on the MU. news, which is going to be good, right? Which is going to be good for the semis going in tomorrow. Let's just see if it gets any follow through. And then same thing on MU, right? It should be gapping above the triangle right here. Let's see if we can get above these pivot levels and give us any movement. But nice sympathy moves on some of these other names. I love it. Good stuff, guys. Very, very nice. The Nest, yeah, Roku got clobbered today. Just clobbered, right? But they ended up buying the dip on this one, so it kind of came into some prior resistance levels that it held. Let's see if we can continue to hold that. Again, there's no real news on it. Just was behind. It was lagging everything else. It didn't move down when everything else was moving down. Finally moved down today, so let's see if this eventually, maybe it'll chop around and maybe give a bounce back out of the cloud. So we have to keep an eye on that one. YouTube, yeah, Dell. Yeah, so Dell had a huge day the other day, right? So they, they were up pretty big the other day. Let's see what day it was at, or it was huge up after. Wasn't it huge up after? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, back on the 23rd into the 24th, and then just kind of pulled back a bit. And today, decent move here off the lows, off the 15-orb lows. Again, just kind of keep an eye on. I don't know if there's any other fresh news on this after hours today. Dell said touted Fed's COVID measures. Yeah, so I mean, nothing really major going on with this one. Just kind of keep an eye on it, see if we can break above that gap up high, which it pulled back off of. But good stuff on that one. The Nest, yeah, LVGL. Let's take a look. Yeah, a bit of a bearish engulfing type candle right here. Again, real body's engulfing this real body. It's not really in an uptrend anymore. It's kind of like more of like flagging right here. So see if we can try to push up and work its way out of that flag again. Good stuff there. Threep, good evening. How's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Jay, hello, hello. What's going on? DA, thank you. Appreciate you. Gio, what's going on? Lulu. Yeah, so Lulu acquiring a company, competitor of Piton. What was the name of the competitor? Buys Mirror, an at-home fitness startup for $500 million. Kind of makes you want to start an at-home fitness company. But anyway, so it's been pulling back pretty reasonably right here. It's below its 80 MA, had an epic run up. It's just kind of slowly drifting down a little bit, but nice push up here after hours back up to 305. So that gets it kind of right into this range right here. So again, it's got a lot of stuff it's got to deal with tomorrow, but let's see how it does. Piton we looked at a little bit earlier. Again, down a little bit after hours, about a point after hours. Again, it might pull back and just kind of test the 80 MA and see how it holds that. It's been pretty strong recently too. And then Boeing. Huge candle today, great volume, bit of a lower shadow on it. So let's see. Again, I really want to see if this thing can confirm and try to get back above this upper trend line again. But again, like we showed earlier and we profiled it earlier, professional gap on this one. And, shorts got stuck here, and let's see if we get some more follow through the upside on that one. This could be interesting. Okay, good stuff. Royal, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had a great day too. FSLY. Yeah, it could. I just want to see how it handles right here. This is it's a tricky one to trade. We looked at some options on it today, and it just was a little bit spready here. But let's see how it handles its 80 MA here on the 74 level and see if they could buy the dip off of that one. That's kind of what we're looking for. See if we can get some confirmation intraday on it and see if the daily gets strong. It's tough right here. But we'll continue to monitor it. AMD. X-Country Kev, yeah, so this thing's been wild, right? It got really, really tight here at the upper trend line. We had kind of sideways head and shoulders right here, and it broke down decently. It wasn't exactly smooth, right, because each day gives you these lower shadows, and those are really tough to swing. But it does give some interesting moves on day. Fast move at the open, then it kind of gave this long sideways action, then a push after the close. So now it's up here after the AMD news, right? So I'm sorry, the MU news, right? So you've got here, kind of this symmetrical move here, right? So it got a nice push there and then continued after hours on that one off of that. So, but yeah, nice reversal on that one today. So it's been this big trend box right here. My guess is that it will probably just try to continue to chop in this range here. But we'll see what they have in store tomorrow. The market's strong tomorrow and the semis are strong tomorrow. This thing could really rip. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that one as well. Good stuff. The Nest, OPK, yeah, nice candle there today as it tried to break out today and left you with an upper shadow. So let's see how that goes, see if it gives you a pause on that one or not. Royal, OSTK, yeah, this thing has just been a monster. Again, it pushed up again today with the gap up today and it's continuing to hold trend. Just ended up finishing down 27 cents. So, but again, just a huge move on that one recently. And, just the fact that it was $2 not too long ago and now it's over $20 is really just incredible. Just a rare mover on that one. Chegg. Check. So looking pretty good right here. Still continuing to hold, some levels. Let's see if we can get above that level right here, the 68 level, and close above it. See if we work back to the highs. Good stuff. Cortez, what's going on? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. SWBI. Yep, still working its way up. So as it, just continues to do its thing. And then VRM, vroom, had a huge day the other day. pulled back with an upper shadow right here, and then gave a little bit downside movement to ADMA and bounced off of that. So now it's back in that range. So you kind of have these two kind of cancel each other out. Really, the key is to see if we can get above this level and see if we can work our way back up to the highs on them. Vroom, vroom. Good stuff. Jay, what's going on? Twilio. Again, nasty, down 10 points today, down 5% today. So again, a lot of these software type names were strong, right? And then they've been doing a lot of fast rotation out of these names. So just keep an eye on this one here, bearish engulfing candle, but with the lower shadow. So it's still kind of holding up a little bit there. Pins with the internet names, they pushed down a little bit and gave you a lower shadow off of that for a bounce. So that's looking okay there. Etsy, same thing, lower shadow right there, needs to get out of that horizontal channel. SPLK, another software name, of course. A little bit of bounce off the ADMA, but fresh all-time highs, but left you with a red candle on that one, making it a little bit challenging. And then Healy, Helena Troy. So yeah, decent candle right here, low volume, so it kind of doesn't really fill me with a lot of confidence, right? So maybe it's working on a bigger cup and handle type formation. Good stuff. Elliot, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Yeah, SGen, let's take a look. Let's see how that's looking here. So SGen. Seattle Genetics. So interesting right here. Again, kind of looking a little bit kind of falling wedgish. So see if it gives you a breakout out of those levels right here. Again, probably more of like a biotech type name. So just be careful with those. ACB had a big breakout move recently, right? Tried to break out of this triangle right here. Couldn't do it. Now it's back at the bottom of the triangle. So it's holding its, basically filled this gap here today and then bounced off the 50 days. So it's kind of like in blah, but you got this kind of real thin space here between the clouds right now. So it's kind of got, it's pretty vulnerable right here. So just be careful with that one too. And then CGC, wrong fingers. So CGC, a little bit of bouncer off the cloud today. Again, just these ones are just, even with news, they've still been struggling a lot here. So it's just kind of triangulating right here. Just might chop around for a bit, just wait for at least a breakout candle or something like that to get going on it. DA, what's going on? CLBS, let's take a look. Ready to rock. That's what I'm talking about. So let's see here. So doing okay. It's got a bunch of crazy levels. Right, lots of lower shadows right here at the 1.6 level. Kind of a penny stockish name. Let's see if we can break out of those levels there. PFSI. Yeah. So it's it's still holding that 40 level right here as a little bit of support. So again, let's just kind of track it here as it's range bound. Just watch here. This could be rally or markup. Distribution, and you might see a mark down after that. Might even, if it breaks down there, you might see it move down to the cloud. So just the way this thing kind of likes to move, it's kind of falls to kind of standard with the Wyckoff method there. Good. And in honor of today's legend, breakouts AYRO. Yeah, decent breakout candle on this one here today. So good. I like I like how it got here. Let's see if I can get it. I like how there. Let's see. I like how I got through the geometric levels right here today with a nice candle. Let's see if we can get some confirmation on this one tomorrow to get some more follow through on that one. And then LCA. Whoa, huge gap up on this one today. So let's see if that one can continue to hold. Which one is this one? Kim Kardashian's makeup, stuff like that. So acquire online gaming business, Golden Nugget Gaming, online gaming. So that could be an interesting one to keep an eye on right there. I tell you, these things are becoming a lot more popular these days. Great job finding all these. BMRG. Right, another merger corporation, so green. These things are just wild. If you guys not for the faint of heart on these one. Hawkeye Systems, good breakout candle here today over these pivot levels right here. So let's see if that can continue to get a move up on that one for you. Good stuff. BA was fascinating, pretty much green candles all day. Yeah, it was. It was a pretty wild one today. Just kept on pushing all day, and just good strength in Boeing today. I like it. The key on that one is to go to the daily chart and see what it's up to. Are they? What's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look. Great ideas and everything today. Really appreciate it. DQ, let's take a look. I thought it was Dairy Queen, right? So yeah, but nice breakout candle here today. I got over that prior inside day level, right? Looking pretty strong right here. Just watch out. It's kind of coming into some zones right here. It's really trying to make a stand, but just kind of see how it holds. But good volume on that one. It is starting to look interesting. Good. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. FSLY. FSLY was cray. Yeah, it was. It's been just so nuts here. And then, of course, today it gives you that bearish engulfing candle here. So let's see how it goes. But it's still a strong company. So, again, it trades really well off of the names that do well during Corona. It's good stuff. NK, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at ZI. Okay, so a little push down today, right? Broke down out of its little channel right here, so it could be a bear flag breakdown, but left you with the lower shadow on it, so just be careful there. But it did hold the ADMA on that. Boeing, of course, nice breakout or nice push today, so let's see if that can get any follow through. Roku. Get nasty pullback today, but they did hold some levels on that one, so let's see if that can continue to hold. Very, very interesting one on that. But gave it like we pointed out, a little breakdown that was possible on that one. Change Healthcare held the cloud so far today, so that's looking okay. And then the defend. So obviously, nice move off that one. Inside day up off of the Boeing news today. So good stuff. Very, very good. Jay, what's going on? Yeah, Roku would have been a beautiful play. Yeah, it had some good opportunities on it for sure. Hussein, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. 15-minute chart good for Swing J2. It can be. You still want to look at your daily chart, your weekly chart, and see what's going on with that. The 15 can be like it can be one that you can go down to look for like a really minute setup. But I usually don't for a swing. I usually don't like to go down past the 30. So something to look at there. Good, Jay Moss, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. So Rob, what's going on? Netflix, yeah. So Netflix, nice buy the dip on this one today. Huge move off the cloud and the 50-day moving average, filled an open gap, and just did well. Now, it was tough to trade, right, because it was all like right off of this candle, and then it was just this crazy choppy mess today. But I do like the candle, and it would have been cool to see a little bit more volume on it, but it did hold some major levels today. WKHS. Workhorse is great. Moving on that one. Just continue to track it, see if we can get over and stay over today's highs. I know it's strong after hours, too. Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. DA match. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah. Possible crab cat or MS, MTCH. Yeah, usually, typically, with the member weight, we don't. This one still wants to be contained, right? So that's it's starting to push a little bit high on that one, right? This is actually looking like a higher high, higher low. Usually, we like to see it like a little bit in here. A little bit less of we don't like to see an extension off of this. So normally we'd want to see like here, 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 right? So a little bit lower than this pivot right there. So, but yeah, it's just, but it is super strong right here. But it could be a candidate for it. Hussein, yeah, let's take a look at Amazonia, see how that's doing here. So, rough day today. It pulled back below the 8 EMA, but it did hold its upper trend. We talked about this a couple times, right? So, these pullbacks to this trend line get really, really tight. So, let's see if we can get tight for maybe another day or two, and then see if it wants to break out of there again. So, again, it seems to be liking this trend line a lot. So, definitely want to keep it on the radar. J Moss, yeah, Microsoft. Let's take a look. Mr. Softy. So, hanging on there. It was a little rough at the open, but, still working on this this bull flag right here, so let's see if that can hold. Apple, again, beautiful bounce today off of its upward trend line. So nice move on that. Still bullish to proven otherwise on that one. SONO, this was a long idea basically from Citron, and it's really just kind of chopping around right here. So it's a little bit challenging there, but it is getting a lot of positive press recently. And then Spot finally calming down a little bit, but inside day, upper shadow. Let's see if we can continue to hold. Maybe it's just waiting for the ADMA to catch up on it. Carl, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Oracle. All right, hanging in there, inside day up, so a little bit of something there. This is a tough one to trade. Tough range in here, too, so just be careful with Oracle. MCD, Mickey D, so yeah, nice bounce here. It didn't really quite hit the cloud yet, but a decent candle today. Low volume, though, so just be careful there. Boeing, again, great candle today, great volume. Let's see if we can get back over the upper trend line. Starbucks. Yeah, nice reversal today, but again, low volume, so just be careful there, too. And then LRCX. Inside day today. So this could be interesting too. This up a little bit after hours again on the MU earnings. So let's see if I can get some follow through the upside tomorrow. It's got a lot of work to do to really be any sort of gap and go, but let's see if the semis have some strength tomorrow. It might be interesting. Merritt, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Roku got clobbered today, but it left you with a big lower shadow, right at these prior pivot levels. So let's see how that holds. Again, if it breaks down below today's lows, we might see some more downside. Might want to come back and test down here. But otherwise, it looks like it's holding. Then we can see if it wants to get strong. It's just been lagging the other guys. So the other one's got a rally today. Maybe this will give a rally tomorrow or the next day. So it could be interesting. But yeah, definitely was on the radar here. On the weak side, Nail, yeah. So home builders, good stuff here today. Again, home sales came out today. They were way better than expected. So not surprised to see the home builders up a little bit there, and see if they get some follow through on it. Samit, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Cisco. So Cisco had an amazing day on Friday. It was a red day on Friday across the board, and Cisco was like one of the only green Dow stocks. Had a great move, and it gave you a pause day today. So let's inside day. So let's see if we can break up through there, and then try to give another push with Friday's big volume and big momentum on that one. Really crazy stuff. But a lot of this stuff comes from some of the rebalancing that was going on out there. Hussein, yeah, so Amazon there, a little bit, like I said, pull back here to the upward trend line. So let's see if that continues to be tight and wants to break out of there. Definitely going to be on the radar. Samit, yeah, PFE bearish, possible, right? It's been in a downtrend right here, pulling back to the 8 EMA, low volume. So it could be, yeah, this could be a bearish pullback on that one. Absolutely possible. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks, Merritt. Thanks for tuning in. X Country Kev is the Inside 15 candle, a custom candle. It is. It's just we just do a little bit of code on this one to put it in here. I could put it in the box for you guys. It's just real simple stuff. Just put this in your TOS, and you can color your inside candles yellow. So right at the bottom of the screen right there. So feel free to enjoy that. I like them because it really kind of gives you an idea of where we pause and what is where we might be changing direction. So it's really helpful. So good stuff. V-Shot, what's going on? Yeah, NVIDIA. So nice rally today and up a little bit after hours on the MU news. So let's see if we get some work. It's got a lot of work to do to get back above this upper trend line. It needs to get back over 380, and 380. It needs to get over there and do it kind of quickly. So hopefully tomorrow maybe the semis will rally and then we can shift this trend line up pretty soon again. So Rich, I know FSLI is like, give me a break, and I said that. I said, hey, this thing's extended, but I mean, hey, you never know. It could keep going, and if it does, let's ride it. But we also said let's look for a pullback on it. So let's see if it tests the ADMA and see if it gives us any sort of actionable entries on it. So we'll see how that goes. So Carl, yeah, my pleasure. Merritt, thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. As always, it's a pleasure, and really enjoy talking and going over the chart requests with you guys, and going through your chart requests and also the topics too. So if you're new here and just joining us on YouTube, definitely click subscribe and hit the notification button. And whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. We always appreciate that. And be sure to check our links in the description. It's got a link to our Twitter page if you're just joining us from YouTube, and also check out the link to our website too. So I hope everybody has a great evening. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.